Yeah, Irrelevant definitely became more than a Sejuani one trick after his first season. Did have some good Jax play. Nocturne Rumble, Callista, Caitlyn, okay. Okay, Azir. Yzma. So who is going to start making the Yzma memes from the Emperor's New Groove, right? I know it's spelled differently, but surely we can get some good Emperor's New Groove memes in there for Yzma.
A lot of Jins are building hubris on 14.1b. Don't expect to see it here from Exakick, but it is still very strong if you do go lethality. Wondering, oh no.
He's hovering.
No, he's actually memeing. There's no way.
Medic was joking earlier, Larson. He was joking.
Please.
There's no need to lock that in.
Please, Larson.
No, why would you?
Teemo, though.
It's not going to lock in.
Teemo has one of the highest win rates.
Emperor's New Groove is the best Disney movie. Fight me. Doesn't have stupid singing in it. Is perfectly cast. Is fucking hilarious.
The Aatrox blind coming in for Jigenda. Jigenda was someone that we talked a lot about last year, is showcasing a lot of great promise, like really good laning, often finding advantages by himself or with a few ganks from Malrang last year, but he couldn't really convert that into big carry performance.
Treasure Planet's definitely underrated, guys, but it's not the best Disney movie. Come on. You guys, multiple people think Treasure Planet is the best Disney movie? And Atlantis, oh my god, these are the most hipster picks ever. I thought my pick was pretty hipster. Look, Treasure Planet is mad underrated. I agree with you. It is not as good as The Emperor's New Groove. Please. Please. Titan AE Disney? No, I don't think Titan AE is good. Or is Disney, sorry. Which studio was that?
When you already see SK have locked their mid and their AD carry, it's not really much more of a pool to pinch that. Rel now taken away by SK, trying to mitigate some of the teamfight threat that Rogue have, because they do already have a very strong one-bow combo with the Shockwave, with the Chain of Corruption, and obviously with the World Ender from Aatrox. SK could go more.
I do agree with the take that Treasure Planet and Atlantis are underrated. Are underrated Disney films. Hercules is pretty good. I mean, maybe if you don't like Greek mythology, it's a hard watch if you enjoy Greek mythology. You know, they didn't do the parts where like Hercules, you know, goes into a god-induced rage and kills his wife and children. The best part of the Hercules story, really.
So you guys can't see it, but now they can. Yeah, Gwen has been locked in for SK because they want counterpick.
Ratatouille is Pixar.
We already talked about how deep his champion pool is on support, and I guess that they're waiting to see what he is cooking, what he's got prepared. Marku going for a bit of comfort here. Lee Sin, something that he's had some great performances on throughout his career.
Pixar is now, come on, it's still a separate studio. You guys know what I mean.
It's a mid-jungle duo. It's not the most threatening. Usually Lee wants to try and work with the early crowd. Some mid laners
For Pixar, A Bug's Life is slept on. You mean Seven Samurai remade with bugs? It's actually crazy how much that Disney and Pixar stole from either other movies or literature. Like, Bug's Life is just Seven Samurai. It's just a Kurosawa movie. And then, like, obviously, Lion King is just Hamlet.
See, I thought it was 3 syllables, like Zoe-Lis.
Well, the other way I heard it was like Zoe-Lis, which is more Zoe-Lis, right? Zoe-Lis.
Okay.
Anyway, Bard was locked.
Bard was locked. I did think about the Bard, but I wasn't sure how high priority teams actually put Bard on the current patch, but it does seem that with the change in itemizations, definitely up there. Haven't seen a decent amount of Trailblazer being picked up by the champion as well.
The thing with Bard, he's like Varus, okay?
You can just build
if any item is broken, somehow...
It's just knockoff Shake Shack. Yeah, the callback. Hunchback of Notre Dame is good.
I see Dracos do Blood Song.
Yeah, that's Dracos. You can go Blood Blood Song if you want that little bit of extra damage as well, but I'd expect this to be more of a tank utility bard, because you have Gwen, Xin Shao, Azir, Jin, you have so many
They take inspiration from, I mean, they literally stole Hamlet. It is Hamlet, except it's Hamlet but bad. Just like, by the way, guys, you know Rebel Moon, that new shitty Zack Snyder movie? It's like by the way, that movie is also The Seven Samurai. So A Bug's Life is The Seven Samurai. The Seven Samurai, the Kurosawa movie, has now been copied by 3 separate movies. Obviously, The Magnificent Seven, right, which came out very soon after Seven Samurai, is a Western. That one's good, though. Bug's Life is also pretty good, but it is still The Seven Samurai. And now we have Rebel Moon, which is the fucking terrible version of Seven Samurai. But why do I have 4 Seven Samurai movies now? Just watch the Kurosawa one. Every movie is just Seven Samurai. Every fucking movie is just Seven Samurai over and over and over again.
Knowing that even if we get pushed in, we could just TP back to the lane, push out. He's also running Arcane Comet, which kind of implies he might go towards the lethality route.
It's 4 hours. Yes, Seven Samurai is like 3.5 or 4 hours long, but it is a banger. Dude, you will not feel like it is a 3.5 hour movie. It is such a banger. It is such a good movie. Is it worth watching Rebel Moon? No, it is shit, dude. By the way, we're going to release the Nerd Legion episode on Rebel Moon in the next day or two. Doe and I talk about it. It is garbage. But we have a funny conversation because we tell you why it's garbage and make all the, basically tell you exactly what it's a derivative from in every possible way. It's a funny conversation that we have. All right, we're not sitting through more pauses. Oh my God, kill me. This is unwatchable. I've skipped through like an hour of pauses in this is the 4th game I'm watching.
Into the game, and here we switch it out really quickly. Obviously, they knew I was playing Pokemon, as all parents do when children do stuff like that. But it's a nice little anecdote to tell as we wait to get back on into the game. And here we are. I'll take down the.
Okay, Bard into Ori Varus seems pretty good. Doss had a good game. Doss had a good game in the. I guess this is his first game. We watched the second game first, but I thought I was pretty impressed.
And we'll see what has changed for both SK and Rogue. Reminder that the winter split is relatively short. Regular season only 3 weeks long. So these first few games are very important, and these are the most volatile. All these teams have brand new rosters. There's new things that they need to identify. The patch is brand new as well. This is where pretty much anything can happen. You need to throw your expectations out the window, and early adopters of the patch will always be the most rewarded, because eventually other teams will catch up, which means that you've got to take advantage of these early changes and run with them. So we'll see which team was able to better utilize that. Now Isma is looking for something. Is he looking for a gank, or is he just looking to control that topside rivet? He will be spotted.
You're not going to like this one from Doss, Monty.
Larson has a lot of time to get away from here. You can see those bushes now further away from the middle of the lane, so you can just walk away. He walks back in. Niski shuffles forward. Niski low on mana, but Isma's able to get in. Larson has to flash. Doss trying to get in from the side as well. Flash forward from Isma, and Larson walked back into the gank. Gets the speed up, but will fall for first blood.
I have questions. That was... Why did Larson do that? Like...
And Larson lanes
to control that topside rivet. He will be spotted out on a ward, but Larson's very up in the lane.
He literally delays so he can auto another minion. And then he... What? His jungler's at Wolves. What the fuck, Larson?
I have questions. That was...
Dude, he thinks he's going to get cannon minion. That's what he thinks. Look at this. He's like, but I could get a cannon minion. Meanwhile, his jungler's here. He has no vision, and his bot lane is pushed into turret. It's all right, guys. We actually have the technology for this moment now. You ready? We have it. You guys ready?
What you say? That you only meant well, baby, 'cause you did what you say. That it's all for the best, 'cause it is what you say. That it's just what we need, and you decided this, what you say. What did she say?
Back into the gang. Guess the speed up, but will fall for
Only on bangers only, guys. You're welcome. The new bangers only meta is starting, by the way.
Why did Larson do that? Like, one of the things I was about to say is this is what's amazing about the mid lane changes is that mid laners feel a lot safer from those early ganks. You have so much room to play
We got a
with.
lot more coming. You guys wait. It's almost ready. That's a taste. We'll give you one small taste today. I got a lot. We got a lot coming.
okay? This is the quintessential Bard portal where you're like, I'm next to the wall, 100% it will go all the way through.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, Larson walked back into range, allowing for Niski to apply the slow, and then Isma could just quickly catch up. So, I mean, we're going to get a replay.
We have to see the shame in slow motion.
Right now. He's not too scared about it. He's going to last hit that minion. He's going to walk away. He also has the speed buff from his W. He sees Isma disengaging, and then he just walks back into range of Niski. He gets slowed up by the Q.
You got too horny for the cannon, man. Has to blow his flash, dies anyway.
They have the push in the bot side of the map. Isma follows it up with the flash too, and it's the red buff that I believe actually ends up securing the kill. Now Isma looking for more.
Only level 3, Markoon tried to trade. Shows how very powerful in the early game.
Look at DOS once again though, already moving from the bot lane into the jungle.
It's the power of Bard as well. You get better push in the lane, but can't match your ability to just auto attack and, you know, take damage off the caster minions. So Bakan will move. Markoon has given up his Razor Beaks and instead will just go for the Krug. So at least here hovering, making sure that Markoon does manage to pick up some of his jungle, but
great information gained from SK. They're just moving into this bot side after getting that flash and kill onto Larson. It means that Niski with his push, working with Isma very, very well. Something that you did talk about was that we often see Niski act as a means to elevate the junglers that he always plays with, and already Isma off to a great start. But DOS making sure that his presence is known with the Bard, and SK find themselves with a very small gold lead for time being.
Compens or at least try to freeze the wave out, but Extra Kick and DOS are there to push it back. So at least actually going to path through the mid lane here, try and open that up. Maybe work his way down towards bot side, or even just add extra protection for Larson, because DOS helped push out bot, but could have immediately just worked his way towards mid and looked for another gank for that flashless Orianna. Markoon starts up the grubs. Ed and Eddie here. Going to be fed and feddy for Markoon.
I really want to call them that from now on.
I think I saw Flowers tweet it originally, but I do like, we need a name for the second spawn as well. If we're going to go for Ed and
Eddie's
Eddie.
back.
Ed and Eddie, man, that is a millennial kids show meme. It's good. I like it.
Actually leaving the third here because SK were making a beeline to try and fight him. 2 is the minimum you really need from a camp to be able to still get the Void Mites later on. 5 is enough to get 1 Void Mite spawning. 6 is what you want for both the Void Mites to spawn and help you push in the wave. And obviously each one gives you that true damage when you attack a tower. So a little bit of extra damage for you.
Dragon is up right now, but looking at the state of the map, with Niski having push in mid and DOS already looking for roams, it seems that SK's game plan right now is to just keep the pressure on Larson.
Doing it well. Niski gets the pull back.
It's so fucking free, man.
Niski will take the kill. SK.
Oh, it's so free.
Very clean. Well played from SK. Punishing Larson for his lack of flash. And getting Niski further and further ahead. 500 gold lead for him, 300 gold lead for Isma. You can see that at the bottom of our screen. And Markoon yet to really have much impact on the map. Will grab himself the early tunneler, something that we often see from junglers these days as they work towards their first item. But we imagine, I'm trying to remember the name now, the Sundered Sky is likely to be the first item from...
Yeah, Sundered Sky. It's a good item. I actually like that. I mean, I do miss Divine Sunderer a little bit.
I'm going to be started off now by I'm going to pick that one up.
you know, having the, especially because it's a tank buster item, it was very nice with the sheen proc for percent HP damage. So I do miss that a little bit. But also being able to kind of change your target selection and then get a bunch of heals is interesting.
Quickly look at that top wave. Would love to see how it's stacking up right now. So it's not a huge wave, nothing that Jigenda has to be too concerned about. But he is.
I haven't watched BDS yet.
Right now.
And the risk always is like you have to dive. Shigenda can stay far enough back with the new terrain up towards that top side that he's basically ungankable unless you look for the dive. Wade could be stacked up by Irrelevant. Isma, though, working his way towards mid lane once again. Larson now has regained his flash. You can see Shigenda trying to get some vision, spot out where the SK jungler is.
More pressure in mid. Doss is here once again.
I mean, if you can burn Larson's flash again, it's just repeat ganks, right? It all comes back to the fact that Larson walked back. And why he decided to do so, maybe he thought Isma was disengaging and wouldn't look for any more plays. Maybe he didn't realize Doss was moving up. It all comes down to the fact he burnt that flash early on. And it's also the reason we haven't seen Marcoon have much effect in the early game, because his bot side was invaded, because he had to protect his mid laner. Now with the blue buff steal, SK are looking for more. Larson, good
nice
dodge there.
Nice dodge.
Nice sidestep from Larson, able to get away to safety.
Oh.
Hits him once, dodges the second, looking for the third, still connects. The flash forward, the flash away. As Larson manages to escape.
But I think SK will take that again.
100%.
A flash this Orianna means it's very difficult for her to be aggressive in the laning phase. And it just sets them up for another Shurima shuffle into gank play. So Larson is the victim of SK's early game pressure, and SK is making it work.
I mean, it's just so difficult for him because...
Why is Larson considered one of the best mids in EU when he plays control mages? He doesn't, man. He had a whole arc where he was like really good at Lucian mid, actually. He diversified his champion pool pretty well. I mean, he's still a very good player. Look, this was their first game of the season. He had a little bit of a brain fart. Got a little bit too greedy. That's how it goes.
Rectrix finished for comp as he builds up towards his first item. It does look like it's going to be the lethality Varus.
Yep, he's good at Silas too. Yeah, he's not just a control mate. I think that's an outdated perception of Larson as a player. He's pretty well rounded now.
The Twisted Fate in the Silas era, they would come mid, they would gank him a couple times, and then he would start to run. You know, it was that we give you leads to then bring your lead everywhere else onto the map. And in, you know, recent addition to SK, already we're seeing this playstyle, right? Play through mid, give him those leads, and see if he can use it on the map. But it's Rogue's turn to answer. They're moving through the river. But Irrelevant tries to make a plan to again. They're not going to find much.
Doss shows up. The Void Grubs have spawned, which is why I think Larson and Zoelise were here helping out Marcoon. That's their third. It will be a fourth and a fifth if they manage to take both of these. And it looks like they should be able to get them. Doss going in with the magical journey. Ignite already down on Shigenda. He tries to flash away. Isma on the chase, though. Will follow him up.
What was the point in flashing?
Gets his first kill of 2024.
What was the point in flashing? That's a bad flash from Shigenda. You were not going to get out of that. Your team was doing grubs. You just got to take the L while your team gets the void grubs.
This gank happens traditionally. SK have to go through the tri-bush, round the river, and then actually come to collapse, which gives them a window to collapse themselves. But the Bard catching off guard now. Niski in a lot of danger.
Comp has Chain of Corruption. Zoelise is here as well with the quickness. There's the charm. There's the follow-up. And Rogue, after 11 minutes,
what do I think of the Rift tweaks? I think it's good. I like isolating topside a little bit more to make it more of a 1v1. It feels good for the role. Harder to gank as a jungler, obviously. I think that blue side just has more advantages in terms of jungle pathing into bot lane, though, at the moment. Overall, I think the map changes are good. Most of the changes that I'm concerned about are that the game is just, it feels really snowbally right now. And the burst damage is just too high, right?
Whereas SK find themselves with these kill leads. See how this translates.
Yeah, I played Taliyah jungle, and I was playing, first off, it's a bad matchup for Taliyah, so whatever. I was playing into Graves jungle, right? It's not a good matchup for Taliyah, but in any case, I was getting legit one-shotted by the Graves. Like, I would die so fast, I couldn't even press Zonia's. That seems ridiculous to me. That I can basically just get killed in 0.2 seconds by a Graves.
I love fun facts.
You know Rectrix, the item that Comp has at the moment?
Yeah, I keep forgetting the name.
But it's called Rectrix.
And then obviously Storm Surge is incredibly strong too.
Do you know what a Rectrix is?
No.
It is the tail feather of a bird that helps them in flight with maneuverability. So that's how I remember it gives you move speed. Because it
Like even if you're in a bad matchup, you shouldn't die in 0.2 seconds.
I also have a fun fact, but I might not have time for it because the dragon has spawned. Save that one for later.
Well, can I speculate about? We don't have to speculate. We know because Riot said that they wanted less ability haste and they have to compensate with damage.
comes out. Bad timing on the knockup. Extra kick flashes and cleanses the way. The curtains open. And perhaps it's going to be a rainy day for Rogue as SK start to dive in. Irrelevant. Unable to get much out of his TP. Shigenda has one of his own, though at least able to dash away. And in the end, all of Rogue survive. Shigenda will have some time with that top lane tower. Marcoon.
I really like SK's decisiveness in the games that we've seen.
Voice is silenced by the fact 3 members of SK were gathered there.
So,
Will have some time. Start to dive in. Irrelevant. Unable to get much out of his TP. Shigenda has one of his own, though at least able to dash away. And in the and perhaps it's going to be a rainy day for Rogue as SK start to dive in. Irrelevant. Unable to get much out of his TP.
DOS on the flash bard queue. Yikes. I like Jhin right now too. Jhin with these lethality builds, considering how good lethality is at the moment, is very nice. And with low tankiness compositions, because Rogue is not going to be running a lot of tanks, like you can get a lot of value out of Collector here, in particular, against Rogue's composition. You know, if you build Yomu's Collector, it's going to be pretty nasty for Jhin.
for them to trade anything back. DOS also mistiming his Q after the Tempered Fate means that CC doesn't connect and SK can't really follow up. So the dragon is still up, and no one really gains or loses anything aside from a bunch of summoner spells that were burned from either side.
Yeah, flashes for Compens, Elise and Marcoon, as you say. Isma does have his flash. DOS and Exakick burnt theirs, as did Niski in the last fight. So we'll see if that amounts to much. Rifthold is back on the map at the 14 minute-mark. That's when she spawns in. Looks like at the moment, DOS, he's playing the Chime minigame to a degree, but also just trying to get vision on the top side. SK...
Fistigons 25. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it.
Prioritize getting vision down towards this bottom side, and it makes sense with them now looking for the dragon. It's going to be a Rifthold for dragon trade, as Rogue will get the objective that sticks around as a permanent buff, and SK will get...
Yeah, the synergy with Jhin too, and Bard on low mobility compositions, especially with low mobility carries like Orianna and Varus, is quite good.
SK showcasing some
You can get a lot of value, especially if you land Tempered Fate into,
now kind of
you know, Jhin W or Jhin ult.
finding themselves more confidently on the map. Working his
Thank you, Ondrox. Wow, lots of subs today. Appreciate you guys.
using that push in mid to move
You should
towards
follow the chat too,
power of the game.
if you haven't given it a follow yet.
That safety that comp needs. But mid now under threat from SK. The Herald
Always a good idea. We'll be doing this a lot. Especially, it'll be exciting with T1 versus Gen G later this week. That's the real banger.
Who's going to ride it? It's Isma. He's going in. Charges...
What archetype of players do you like to watch? I like all-rounder players like Yagao. I like smart macro players. That's why I'm a Peanut fan. Good jungle pathing gets me hard.
Rogue get their second kill.
That's my fetish.
very well played there from Rogue. Once again, a good punish onto SK's aggression.
Armina, thank you.
Jagenda into mid, core Exakick in an animation lock, and with no summoners as you highlighted, medic, an easy punish. So Elise now looking for another play.
This should just be able to dash.
At LCS next week, the realest bangers. Oh, we'll be back with some LCS games. I'm excited about the new Cloud9. Could legitimately be a very good team.
TP, but it looks like last inning.
No, it's not joking. Like that roster of Cloud9 could be very good.
The mites will let you chip away at this tower very quickly, and with it being past 14 minutes as well, you don't have to worry about those pesky bulwark stats. Tower will not quite fall, but it's down to about a tenth of its HP, and should be good to go on the next push.
You're excited for FlyQuest? Yeah, FlyQuest. It depends on how well their bot lane does, right?
We are seeing first items. Start
But the top side of the map's very exciting,
opportunity.
and there's good potential there if their bot lane can really get rolling.
Opportunities to make a play, Vedius, because he's bought an item, and that item's name, opportunity.
I'm excited to not see TSM anywhere, guys. That's the best part of this year in League of Legends is that there's no TSM anywhere.
Really have to be called opportunity. If you're in
First time watching these LEC games. Yeah, I hadn't seen any of the games before today. Is there a Discord or something like that to get notifications? My Discord is fucking so dead. But I guess it's time to revive my Discord, don't you think, guys? It just nothing has been happening in there, but I guess if I'm going to be doing more streaming stuff, I should revive my Discord. It does exist. Does anybody do anything in there? No.
They have a decent amount of control over the map. The towers are pretty even. They would love to unlock this mid tower.
There you go. There's my Discord link. Also the LFN one, but my notifications won't go live on the LFN one, obviously. But I should. It's a good point. I should use my Discord. I am dumb.
Securing the kill for SK in the top lane. They're going to push forward. This will be a tier 1 falling, their second tower of this game.
Really good punish from SK. They catch Agenda overextending. They quickly collapse with 3.
Yeah, we won 2 Holy Wars. We won the TSM Holy War. We won the EG Holy War. It's crazy. It's crazy how we were right the whole time. It's wild. It's almost like we knew what we were talking about.
Doesn't have flash, but should be able to get away from Marcoon here as well. With the wave arriving, Marcoon just chucks out a tentative Sonic Wave, but that's a 600 gold lead now for Irrelevant in the top lane. Comp, though, still sitting pretty at the top of the charts. You can see he's about 800 gold ahead of Exakick and the lead in terms of total gold.
I thought, based on what you guys were saying, it's going to be more of a blowout. This game is basically dead even now, especially with Rogue having the 2 Drakes. It hasn't been bad considering how it started. The tragic play by Larson.
Instead, he's looking to play from range. Use that opportunity, which does more damage if you've been outside of combat. Well, you gain lethality if you're out of combat, so it does more damage. Still, I have to wait to see how effective it is. Trailblazer is complete on Zoelise. Talked about it as a possibility on the Bard. Instead, he's gone Bloodsong Locket. There's something we're seeing a little bit of. He can also, in this game, look towards a Frozen Heart. That extra armor and magic, because it's a very cheap item. Sorry, just armor. Very cheap item now. Makes you very tanky in terms of support.
Really good vision control here from Rogue, forcing SK to face check. They don't really have the best face checking champions. They're trying to use the range from Niski. Ooh, good temper fade.
Quickness for Zoelise is flash away from comp as the curtains open and swiftly close as 4 shots come out. Shigenda trading with Irrelevant, who's trying to keep him on the sidelines.
Maybe not the best engage from SK there.
Flash could work his way around here. As you say, not much vision for SK. Zoelise has a lot of nooks and crannies to play with. He tries to hide out of vision. Instead, he's just frontlining. Cosmic coming back up on him.
Good engage.
Forward, looking for the damage, but there's the quickness, there's the charm. Niski with a good shuffle back means that Larson's in the middle of the enemy team, and he'll be the first to fall. Alongside him, we've seen Niski go down, but Zoelise and Rogue are on the run. Marcoon sniped by Exakick. The binding coming out as well as Zoelise lands a double knocker. Before it, he will pay with his life. A clean fight from SK in the end.
Ends up being 4 dead on the side of Rogue, and this will unlock the dragon for SK. Niski took a huge amount of damage at the start of that fight, and he decided.
What did Quickshot mean when he said "do the Hitler"? Dude, it's so stupid. He was just doing that thing that I'm not gonna do it because you guys are gonna clip me out of context. But like, you know when like DJs are in the crowd and they have like, you know, they got one hand on the turntable and they've got one hand up in the air like bobbing to the beat. That's what he fucking did. It's so stupid. I can't handle it, guys. It was just a joke about DJs. Quickshot is the nicest guy, man. Like the fact that this is happening to him is so shitty. He's got such a good heart. He would never mean anything bad about that.
But then also bound Marcoon as they were looking for the re-engage after Niski had shuffled in. Really good bard play.
Don't tell me that's why he's not in LEC. Well, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that is the reason. I also suspect that is the reason why he started Worlds, and then when that video was posted, he didn't do any more Worlds after that. That's what I suspect happened.
actually placed by SK, but they cleaned out any vision.
Like maybe it's more it's possible that it might be more serious because, you know, he wasn't in Germany at the time. I think he was in Dublin. But maybe because the LEC is in Germany, it's like more serious. I don't know what legal things exist around that in Germany.
Irrelevant did not, and we didn't talk about him much in that last team fight, but his damage is very real. Yeah. He's been involved in 6 of the team's 8 kills, and now he's a menace in the side lane. No one can really deal with him, which means that SK will always...
Also, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Nazi salute was actually just stolen from ancient Rome. Like, they took the Roman salute. Like, that was what the Roman legions used for hundreds of years. And the Nazis stole it. If you watch the TV show Rome, the HBO show, you'll see all of the Roman soldiers in that show using that salute. I mean, the Nazis stole everything. They stole the swastika from, like, Buddhism and Hinduism. It's thousands of years old in those religions. They just stole a bunch of random shit.
They realized that, okay, we need to look to reset soon, we need to replenish our vision, we need to spend some of the gold that we've picked up. But they were doing a really good job there of just keeping this pressure onto Rogue and saying, listen, if you leave us for a second, we're going to start this Baron. We have, well, Jin isn't the fastest Baron taker, but when you do pair it up with...
whatever.
Doing a really, excuse me,
anyway, I don't know what's going on.
It's something that's very threatening, especially...
I'm not trying to, like, be coy either. Like, I literally don't know why Quickshot isn't on the broadcast. But if I had to guess, it would be that. Because they disappeared him during Worlds right after that happened, so it's a little suspicious. I think he'll probably be back, though. I hope he's back for spring. I miss him. It's weird not hearing his voice on these games.
The next big team fight is going to determine a lot. It's going to balloon one team in favor of the other. It's going to either potentially help close that goal gap for Rogue, or it's going to snowball things in favor of SK.
I think it's very dependent on whether the poke comes down before the fight begins. If the fight has erupted before Comp has managed to get too much poke down alongside Larson, I think the fight should go in SK's favor. Irrelevant, especially in these longer engages with the 10% Omnivamp you get from Riftmaker when it's fully stacked, is so difficult to kill. He's got himself.
Why didn't he say he was doing the ancient Romans? Because it was a joke about DJs. Quickshot's not a Nazi, guys. Give me a break. As far as like people who could secretly be Nazis, Quickshot is like bottom of my list. You know what I mean? Like, he is the least likely person ever.
Will step in. 6,000 on the Barons, though, at least stepping forward as well. They can't quite find an avenue in here, Rogue, as SK continue to chip away at the Baron. Lower and lower it goes, though Elise rooted up with a captive audience, and DOS takes the kill. Temper just wide of Larson, but Irrelevance in the midst of 4 here. Tries to snip his way through, can't quite do it, but the Baron will be forfeit. Rogue got a kill, but SK got wide of Larson.
Who's at the top of that list? Nobody, guys. I don't think anybody is like in esports. Come on, that's stupid.
Which is the new stopwatch built into Zhonya's hourglass, gives you a one-time Zhonya's effect. Zoelise here now stepping towards the Baron pit. It's territorial.
And Rogue really doesn't have anybody who can actually face check or make the engagement into this Baron. Like, they don't have anybody who's going to be able to muscle in for vision. If they muscle in as a group, they just get Bard ulted. So it feels pretty bad.
6,000 on the Barons, though, at least stepping forward as well. They can't quite find an avenue in here, Rogue, as SK continue to chip away at the Baron. Lower and lower it goes, though, at least.
Good timing on the W from Irrelevant. He actually holds it really well until he sees the Ori ball coming in. And just 1v1 Shigenda without this. Finds them all in a choke point, gets his ult off. Man, DOS's Bard is not it, man. Larson still had his... He literally Bard ults. Oh, he just misses. So he did wait for the Banshee's Veil to be popped. But holy moly, just the W speed gets Larson out of it. Damn. That is a bad Bard ult. That is a bad Bard ult.
Being for one as you highlighted, Medic, but SK much happier with that trade. The Dragon spawns in 35 seconds, so resets are going to come through. While Zoelise will respawn much quicker, the TP is available for Irrelevant, and he should be present for this Dragon spawn. We look back at this play. SK just forced the objective, forcing Rogue into this fight. The poke isn't connecting from
At least call it out. It was a bad joke and bad taste. Dude, he didn't even know it was going to be made public. He wasn't intentionally making that joke for a public audience. Like, what the fuck, guys? First off, like, it was a leak from behind the scenes stuff that happens, and surely all of us have made jokes in questionable taste to our friends. Like, come on. Yeah, I'm not going to say, first off, it wasn't very funny, and second off, like, yeah, it wasn't in good taste, but it wasn't meant for public consumption. You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to have, people are allowed to have off-color jokes in private. Like, come on. Jesus. It would be one thing if that was, like, deliberately made to put out on the internet, but it wasn't. This is why you should never have cameras backstage. Ever. Ever.
Four players here. Larson still in the top lane, and Rogue will realize they can't really take this battle. Larson TPs to the tower, just trying to defend it. Isma is pulled back,
but I think what's unfortunate is that especially the LEC casters have made it like a social media meta to like post behind the scenes content. You don't really see any of the other leagues doing that, if you know what I mean. Like, LEC, all of the casters all the time are posting like TikToks of behind the scenes stuff, Twitter. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's dumb. It's bad. It's dumb. Like, I don't see the LCS casters doing it. I don't see the LCK casters doing it. It's LEC created the fucking like behind the scenes social media post meta, and now this is the price you pay. This is the price you pay for it. It's dumb, it shouldn't happen, and this is the price you pay. No, 0 people at LEC should be posting recorded clips from behind the scenes. 0 people.
That's the level of confidence that you like to see from these young rookies. Of course, we did mention that he was...
The LCS casters aren't really doing anything outside of casting and Twitch to expand their media presence. Yeah, but you can do anything you want. Just don't post behind the scenes content that might catch people doing things that shouldn't be put out publicly. Come up with something fucking more creative to do than that.
But yeah, it seems that SK definitely happy with how this acquisition has gone so far. Still very early on in the
It's just such a dangerous game to play. You know what I mean, guys? Such a dangerous game to play. And it's a stupid game to play too. But as they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm just saying, if I was on that casting crew, I would just tell everybody there that nobody can post anything of me behind the scenes. And I would have said that years ago. Like, you guys do what you want. I'm not here to be fodder for your behind the scenes social media posts. Fuck no.
A lot of that has been because Irrelevant just runs through the backline. It's like, well, we all have to try and disengage this Gwen, who now has a stopwatch or a Zhonya's to give her that little bit extra bit of protection. And even if we do that, we then have to worry about Isma. And even if we do that, we then have to worry about Temper Fate and Curtain Call and a shuffle perhaps from Niski. There's so much disruption on the side of SK that Rogue's ability to play a more measured, a slower team fight is very difficult. We might see a fight begin here. Zoelise goes into Isma. Curtain's open once again. Shigenda's forced back. They block the third and fourth shot, but might just be the tower for SK. Marcoon going in once again for the engage. Sonic Wave connected, and his heart was telling him yes.
I kind of miss Malrung, honestly.
Nothing in the top lane. Rogue able to defend at tier 2.
Like, at least Malrung was fun to watch in the early game. This has just been boring as hell. Rogue had that fucking psycho element to them in the early game that made it entertaining.
The expectation of the Baron being the next major objective, right? Like, it's slow and measured, calculated. Oh, Niski's back going to be interrupted, but he's just going to be annoyed about that more so than it's actually going to do any real damage. This may mess up his timers because ideally he wants to get the death cap just before.
Yeah, Larson signed, I think, a 3-year deal.
Zoelis is now going to find a window where they can get that vision back. You can see all these wards now are being dropped. The problem is he has to expend these wards to just get information. Then when SK come back out onto the map.
Which matches did I review so far? This is the second SK one. We did G2.
Immediate W away there as he saw Irrelevant coming around the corner.
We did the G2 game from today.
Freaked me out the first time I saw it. Because it comes all the way from Bot River. So I was running along, there was a Vex in the game, and I saw this big V-shaped monster coming at me. I was like, is Vex holding me? Absolutely scared the living lights out of me, buddy.
You scare easily.
Yeah, I don't watch horror movies.
G2 Carmine.
Wait,
We
SK
did that one.
Okay, they're gonna go
We'll do one of the Fnatic games next.
instead. There's a window here for Rogue to try and cross map with the.
Yeah, we did both Mad Lions games.
It is a tight.
Just I was curious to see how the new roster looked.
and it is a big
The
game.
Mad Lions Heretics we did.
Take themselves. So they're not going to do it. Instead, they're going to use this window to try and maintain some of the vision control that they have been able to get for themselves. Potentially look for a pick. SK.
Yeah, this game is Residence Libre, I agree.
Across the wall, Mark. Gonna ward in this bush as well. Irrelevant and Shigenda still down in the bottom lane. Both TPs available for them. And Zoelis find the engage. You have to feel Larson now stepping up, feels he's strong. Rabadon's complete on him. 3 items Oriana. We've seen Shockwaves turn a game like this before. Isma dives in. The TP behind is Irrelevant joins. Shigenda going in. Zoelis trying to get on towards that front line. Niski there. It takes the kick. Kills off Marcoon. Shigenda on the back line now is Irrelevant. Isma dives in. The TP behind is Irrelevant joins. Shigenda going in. Zoelis trying to get on towards that front.
Wait, what killed? Did he just like jump into a? Did he jump into a Jin ult?
The TP behind is Irrelevant joins. Shigenda going in. Zoelis trying to get on.
He flash kicks, but then he gets blown up by the Jin ult.
Shigenda on the back line now is Irrelevant. Tries to just chip him away.
That's funny.
But it's SK's day. Towards that front line. Complete on him. 3 items Oriana. We've seen Shockwaves turn a game like this before. Isma dives in. The TP behind is Irrelevant.
He gets so horny for Niski after he sees the Rakan engage that he goes in right, and he sees. I mean, it's a nice flash over the ult, but he's just literally in point blank range of the third shot of the ultimate.
Tries to just chip him away. Irrelevant low, but it's SK's day. They start to sweep up the fight. Everyone surviving for them. Shigenda not stunned by that cosmic binding, but SK get 2. They get the mid jungle duo. And now they can just back away. Shigenda's gonna try and
Watch DOS's flash. Okay, I can't watch any more DOS this game, dude.
backline now is Irrelevant. Tries to just chip him away. Irrelevant low, but it's SK's day. They start to sweep up the fight. Everyone surviving for them. Shigenda not stunned by that cosmic binding, but SK get 2. They get the mid jungle duo. And now they can just back away. Shigenda's gonna try and gain some tempo for his team. As well flashes and misses the cube.
Shigenda just gives him the thumbs up.
Maybe they can keep them low enough because Comp's still alive and his ultimate's
What was that? How do you miss that cue? Who had worse skill shots? Kaiser on Nami or DOS on Bard? Whose was worse?
Bit of a messy fight, but they make it work. Niski, I thought, was dead for sure. A nice kick from Marcoon just results in his death. And then the shielding that comes out of this.
Nobody expected Shigenda just to stand there.
Look at how they ballooned this gold.
Kaiser, no, I don't know, man. Some of DOS's Qs and ults have been really horrendous.
Well, let's watch it.
How they're going to play around fights.
Because Isma's going to act as the engage once again. Kind of goes isolated though and takes a lot of damage. The ultimate being used early. So at least a bit disconnected from his team.
Dude, I love how Marcoon just got fucking blasted at point blank range by the Jin shot.
Actually comes through to protect Niski, allowing him to reset. Irrelevant goes onto the back line to do as much damage as possible. Uses the
Misses Q there. He misses one Q and he's like, but what if I flashed and missed another Q?
The whole team working incredibly well together, and Nexakick just being the executioner as he continues to find kills.
DOS's Renata game was good though, so we'll forgive him.
2 minutes remain on it. Yet to break an inhibitor tower, but with Irrelevant pushing mid, you have to feel. One will be short to fall. Isma going forward once again onto Shigenda, the lockdown, but Shigenda just getting clipped away at Marcoon, kicks away Irrelevant. Well, that's a big, 2 big ultimates used just to disengage. Wave's still going to start crashing in.
Wow.
Relenting here from SK. Irrelevant chipping
Scott
away.
Stemo,
Lane tower is doing more than
8
chipping.
years, 9 months of following me. How does it feel?
For him as Isma goes in with the tower falls. They're looking for more as Niski slides forward. Larson already falling. Marcoon short to follow. Zoe Elise now.
Team effort as well. Loved what we
All right, which Fnatic game do you guys want to watch?